Now, the second tool that I want to talk about is pocketing. Pocketing is the opposite of padding. For this, I go to mechanical design and part design. I create a part here, and I start sketching again using XY plane. Going to sketch, and I'm going to use a very simple profile like a rectangle like this. So I'm not going to have constraint here. You can add constraints and change the dimensions or any other thing that you want to have. So I exit my workbench here. You can see that this is selected. Now I go to padding, and padding the first thing that takes you to the second direction. I want to have about 40 millimeters of padding here, and I want to have it in two direction. So I click on OK, and the first thing that I want to have is the part that I'm going to take off this pad. So I select, for example, this face and go to sketch the profile that I'm going to take off this. So I click on a circle, for example, here. I draw a circle right here, and now I exit my workbench. Now I'm going to select the pocket tool. Now you can see that pocketing is in the direction that goes through the thing that you have created. It is going to have about 40 millimeter. This is because I have selected 40 millimeter in the last tool that I have. So I'm going to have about 20 millimeter of pocket. So I click on 20, and now you can see that the sketch is selected. So I can click on preview. You can see that this is done. Again, click on preview. It will show you the exact thing that is gonna be created. I click on OK and click somewhere blank, and you can see this pattern. This is a hole created by the circle that I have. So press the shift button and down arrow key, you can see the inside of this hole that you have created. Now I want to have some other paddings added to this part. I want to have the for example, some of this part about removed again. So I select this face again. I go to sketch environment. Now I'm going to add another shape. For example, I want to use profile tool. And you can see that I do not have to be in this environment. I can go and start, my profile somewhere out of my environment. So I click here, I go here, I go here, come back here, and now you can see that I'm closing my shape. Now I have created this in this surface. And of course, I should say that this is a plane that I have used to create my profile. I exit my workbench. You can see that this is exactly aligned to this face. So I use pocket tool. Now you can see that I can select the amount of padding that I want to have. I can of course change the direction, but this is pocketing, of course. I'm sorry. I can select the reverse direction, and this tells me that I'm pocketing through the air. This is meaningless. So I go back, and this is the amount that I'm going to have. I'm going to have about 25 millimeter here. So I click OK, and you can see that this part is removed from my shape. Now I'm going to show you something interesting. I want to have the same amount of material removed from the other side. So I go and select the opposite side first using the shift and up arrow key. I rotate here. Of course you can use the rotate tool that's right down here. I'm going to select this face and go to sketch environment. Now I should have this in my viewpoint, so I go and click on this little icon here that tells me fit all in. You can see that it comes here. Now I want to see the sketch that I had previously created, so I go to part body and open this. The sketches that I had previously are here. The sketch that I use for pocket is this. I select this. Now you can see an option like this in operation toolbar that tells me project 3D elements. So I click here, and you can see that that sketch right there is replicated to the plane that I have here. This is not the previous sketch. This is a projection of that sketch into the plane that I have here. So I click exit workbench. You can see this sketch, and I select the pocket tool, and 25 millimeters is okay. I click on OK. You can see that it is removed exactly like the opposite side. Now I want to have the circle in this side again. So I click here and go to the sketch environment again. Now I want to project the circle. So circle was used for the first packet. So I click on sketch, and this is why I say you should change the name of anything that you have here by right clicking the specification tree, the object that you want to rename. You can go to properties, and now you can see that of course this is not possible to select something and rename it while you are working with that. I close this. I want to project it again. Using operation toolbar, I go and project 3D element. You can see this is projected to the face that I'm working with. I exit my workbench, and again I'm going to use pocketing, and it was about 20 millimeters, I guess, and I click OK. You can see that the exact thing that I had in the other face, now it is applied to this face. So pocketing is very interesting tool for you. So I'm going to remove some other faces. I want to go to this face and go to sketch environment. I want to click on this so that I am fitting this in my viewpoint. And now I'm going to draw again a profile like this. I want to click here, click here, click here, and again close my shape. Now I have another profile. I exit my workbench, and I'm going to use this profile to pocket. So let's go to pocket here. Using the pocket, now I'm going to select one other type of pocketing. This is going to be up to next, and this is going to be up to the next object that you select. For example, I'm going to select another face, and this is going through the shape up to that face. I can select up to last. That means through this existing object to the last of this object. I can select up to the plane, and you should select a plane, and you know that the faces are plane again. And of course I can use up to surface, and this is specifically particularly good when you are working with surfaces. So I'm going to select up to last, and you can see that this is cutting through the object to the end of it. So I click OK. Now I click in a blank area and try to rotate around my shape. Using this tool, I can select my shape and I can rotate around this. You can see that this is very complex shape, and of course it is what I want to create. So you can see different options of pocketing. I'm going to talk about pocketing more, and again you can see that we have second limit here by clicking on more, and I'm going to talk about thick profile and other things in the upcoming sections.